Well, good afternoon, West Ham fans. Let's talk about David Moyes' press conference ahead of the game tomorrow against Liverpool. Yes, everybody watching the West Ham Network. Hope you're all safe and well. If you're new and give it a like, give a comment, give a share, give a bloody good subscribe. It's Hammers Headlines in association with the KUMB.com boys. And as we do every Friday in the season, that is, we dedicate the Hammers Headline sort of segment show to the David Moyes press conference in terms of what's been said ahead of the game at the weekend. Obviously, you play Liverpool, 12:30 kickoff tomorrow. Let's just crack on with it. Let's start with the important stuff. Let's start with team news. That's what we all want to know. That's what we're all here for. What's the team news going to look like? Well, according to Moyes, he reckons that Aguerd Bowen is back training, so there's a good chance he'll be available. We still need to monitor him. We have a couple of issues with centre-halves. Nayoff is not available. Dinos has a chance, but we'll have to see how he is. Obviously, Dinos has suffered injury. Obviously, we had a combination, of the likes of Bonner coming in. So Bonner could come in if Dino's not fit. But I think Dino will be fit and be Dino and Zoom. We'll go for the starting 11 show later on tomorrow morning. Asked about, obviously, the last time we played was against Crystal Palace, which was an absolute SHIT show. And in terms of getting a reaction from the players, what that means to him, what that means to Moyes, he said, Palace played well, we didn't. What we want is a reaction from the players, from them to show what it means to play for West Ham. Our start was incredibly good against Bayern Leverkusen, so poor starts are not a regular thing. But I would say I was ashamed after 30 minutes at Palace. I've been around football a long time, been involved in managing a lot of games, and players can be different. To say he was ashamed of that performance, too bloody right. We were all ashamed of that performance. And I don't agree with that, saying we proverbially are very poor starters. On a handful of occasions, we've come out of the blocks. And when we have come out of the blocks, we've usually either won the game or it's been a bloody good performance. Quite often than not, it's not until we don't kick on until the second half anyway. So I don't necessarily agree with that at all. The Bayer Leverkusen game was very much the exception to the rule. I think that's fair to say. Obviously, the race for Europe, and I've mentioned it before, the results have sort of gone our way this week for once. With the likes of Brighton getting turned over yesterday on Wednesday. Crystal Palace beat Newcastle. Previous day Arsenal thumped Chelsea, and we're still eighth somehow. Obviously, we play the first game of the weekend, so it could put pressure on the likes of Newcastle. Obviously, we'd leapfrog Newcastle into seventh with a victory tomorrow. Asked about that, Moyes said, we're in eighth in the Premier League with 4 games to go. It's an incredible position to be in. We've played 12 or 13 games more than other teams. From our point of view, we're in there. We're still in with a shout, and we'll try and make it. I think it's fair to say we could be, with 1 or 2 different performances, I think it's fair to say we would have been home and dry in 7th, I reckon, at least, to be fair. You look at some of those games, the Burnley games, and the Fulham game, last home game, and various others. 2 or 3 of those games where there were draws or losses, we were picking up points because of a different mentality. We would be we'd have practically qualified for Europe already. So although he sees it being in a great position, I don't think we are. I don't think we were. I think we could have been in a lot better position if we'd taken that approach that we gave them against Bayer Leverkusen across several other games, particularly amongst the lower leagues, not small, that's detrimental, but the lower league teams in the lower parts of the league, the likes of Burnley's, Sheffield United's, people like that, going out and winning against Burnley at home rather than drawing, things like that. Throughout the year, they add up. We could easily have another, without a shadow of a doubt, at least another 6 points, at least, on our total this year. It was a very short press conference. There's only literally one more question. The press conferences usually start about 1:30. This didn't start till about 25 past 2 and was over by 2:30. So it was literally or 32 minutes past. Sorry, so it was literally about 8 minutes long in terms of the press, in terms of the sort of public stuff. Obviously, there's the embargo stuff, which will come up later on this evening. I asked about Liverpool. Find it difficult to accept that Liverpool are out of the title race. They had a bad result, and other teams have got to play big games. I think they're right in there. They haven't surprised me because they are a football club always around challenging for things. Obviously, being the last time we face Jurgen Klopp as Liverpool manager. And in fact, we looked at Jurgen Klopp's press conference and looking at what he said about West Ham. I don't have time to speak to David Moyes too much, but when we speak at games, I like him. He's doing a great job, really talented team, good transfers. Bowen, one of my favourite players. Paqueta, super talented. Antonio, top striker. When Bowen is up there, they find a solution. James Ward-Prowse, super signing for West Ham. I heard one press conference when he asked what he expected West Ham to achieve. 6 teams have to finish above them, so 7th is there. And I think he's doing a ridiculously good job. That is it. And asked about Liverpool's injury crisis or injuries they've got in terms of, not really a crisis, really. Jota and Conor Bradley will not be available for the game. Nobody has told him when they will start training soon. And that is it, my friends. As I said, keep an eye on the channel. We'll be having the starting 11 show. Irish Tommy tonight. He's talking about our players on the beach. Are the West Ham team on the beach? You could probably argue, looking at that Crystal Palace game, we probably were, to be fair. A number were. And Irish Tommy will be on there from around 10 o'clock. So make sure, if you're coming out from the pub, to watch Tommy and play. I'm very pleased. Look at that. Look at that thumbnail. Very, very pleased with that. Don't forget to check out theseareMyBrand.com for your latest news, reviews, and opinions. And also a little word from our channels, our new channel partners, our new friends of the channel, Alloy Collectors. Some really cool little bits, particularly if you're thinking about Father's Day. I'm going to do a little video to finish with. Take care. Bye-bye. Are you struggling for a Father's Day present for your West Ham supporting dad? Don't get socks. Get Alloy Collectors West Ham shirt kits. These are available, already made up in a presentation box, as demonstrated here. Or you can buy them self-assembly if they really want to make the kits themselves. These are available in the home shirts of both the outfield and goalkeepers, made of metal, intricately designed to reflect the current West Ham shirt this season. In terms of the home shirts, these would adorn any West Ham fan's desk or man cave. And they are fully customizable. You can put your favourite squad player. You can put Danny Ings' name and adorn it on the top of the changing room presentation box. You can also put his name and his number on the back of the shirt as well through the stickers that are supplied in the box. These are available via the Alloy Collectors website. Check out the link below. And if you enter the West Ham code WHN25 to get 25% off